Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 91 of Direwolf20's Age of Engineering series. Today I've got 3 solar panel Mark Vs. Means I need only one more. Huzzah! Everybody's excited about that, right? Because that means we'll have our solar panel Mark 6. We're going to need a photovoltaic cell Mark 4, which needs glowing glass and glowstoning. That doesn't look too hard to make. So we're going to get some photovoltaic cell Mark 3s. It looks like I'm going to probably want about 9 of them. Missing flawless glass. Okay, and that's not terrible. I can totally get that. Calculator. Let's get our flawless calculator dude again. As I remember, it was one of those diamond dudes from Calculator. Where are they? These guys. Yeah, flawless diamonds. Cool. 2 stacks of those and 2 stacks of, I think it was just regular glass, right? So we'll just cook that all up, and that'll get us pretty close to being at. So I took my ultimate hybrid solar panels in from outside. We also want to boost these guys into the quantum solar panel. So for that, we're going to need a quantum core, which is going to require 4 Cenarium, and the rest is easy. So let's get 3 more of these. Missing iridium ore. Oh, see, I'm so close, yet so far. Let's throw this in here. And just because I don't feel like going outside, I'm going to get some cables. And we'll just help this along a little bit. That should help. Just speed that up, the production of iridium. Thought I had enough. So close, yet so far. It's all right. We have a few other things we're going to need to do today. So let's just review where we're at with getting the solar. But the goal or the plan is to have a creative energy cell by the end of the episode. That should absolutely be within reach for us. So we're cooking up the last of our sand and gravel here, and we're also making up a little bit of sand and glass there. So do we have any glass just chilling in there? It's coming along. Once we've got that up and running, we should not have power problems anymore. Because now that I have a void miner going underneath my base for resources and mining, we are not, I'm not going to say we're having problems with power, but we're only getting about 6,000 or 7,000 RF a tick as a gain, maybe sometimes 10, which is not a lot. And if I need 1.5 billion to dupe items, that's not nearly enough. So, long story short, cool. Scheduled crafting steel blocks. Why steel blocks? IC2. Where's the steel block thing? Where did I set that up? In the Ender IO room? No. In the Draconic room? Yes. Why are you all having problems? What's going on down here? Liquid carbon. Oh, we doubled up on iron. Interesting. That's a thing that we're going to have to prevent happening. Back in a minute once I figure out how to solve this. So I can change it because there are different inputs. So that's the left input and that's the right input. So I can totally fix that going forward. I just don't seem to be able to extract. Always active. Yeah, I don't seem to be able to extract the current molten iron that's in there. But to be honest, it's only molten iron. So let's do this. Let's not push automatically. And we will do some piping. Let's do some ender conduits. With filters in them. So what we'll want is ender fluid conduits. So we're going to totally want some conduit binding and some vibrant alloys. Just get a handful for now, because why not? Should be pretty straightforward. And this will fix this. So in theory, that should be coming right along. Cool. And that means that we can make some of these, which should hopefully be getting there. Nice. So we'll set up just 2 sets of those. Should be pretty close to good. So this stuff's cool because it can transfer multiple liquids, right? So what we're going to do is, in fact, configure this block to the back as the input. Okay. So let's make the top be the output here. This top, yeah, this is going to be a little... I don't think this block needs to be here, right? So this front could, in theory, be an export. Orange, yes. You're going to be green. Or like bluish. And then you're going to be purple. And that'll go in there, right? So we will basically filter this. And I'm pretty sure I can just use filters like these guys, right? I don't think there's a separate fluid filter. I'm pretty sure about this. So let's put this here. You're going to be disabled, sir. On the down, you're going to be an insert. Oh, you already have a filter slot, so I don't need filters. Beautiful. We're going to want, let's get a bucket, if I may. I don't suppose you'll let me, like, scoop you or something, right? Of course not. And on the down, you're going to be filtered for that stuff. Cool. Okay. And then we're going to need molten iron, basically. So let's break. I probably should have set this all up after, but I'm going to break and replace you. Hopefully you behave. Right, so your upgrades will go here and here. Top will be that one. Back will be that one. And front will be that one. And that should be cool to bind up that power thingy. All right, now for molten iron, let's get another tank. Because that seems to have, yeah, it should be fine. Just cleaning up. Wow, you filled up really fast, didn't you? Oh, did I put the wrong tank there? That's probably it. Cool. There we go. Empty. Beautiful. Good. Okay, cool. So I don't know how much iron was in there, but it was probably a decent amount. So let's just throw a stack in there. And then we'll get another tank. Because what I want to have is a bucket's worth of iron. So that we can filter that on the back there. Cool. So this ender fluid conduit, man, this is tricky. It's a pretty tight squeeze in this place. We'll go here, filtered with that on the insert, honestly. Not on the extract. So that's there. That on the down is filtered, insert that. Cool. And then this can be extract always active without a filter. Cool. So all iron goes in there. Nice. Okay. So now I just have to complete the current craft, and then going forward, we should have fewer problems. What we might need to have is like some kind of buffer that can, if we, you know, throw 3 stacks of iron in this thing, what's going to happen is this is going to fill up with iron, this is going to fill up with iron, and then it won't be able to cook up the coal that we need. So having a buffer tank would probably be smart, right? So let's do this, and on the up, extract always active. So that will drain that out. That should drain out the liquid carbon, which should go into the right spot. Cool. And then we're going to want you to be north, extract always active, up, insert. And that will be the steel that we need. Cool. Beautiful. Okay, so that's cleared out now, and then we have a little bit more liquid carbon to drain into that guy. So let's throw another stack of iron in there, and we'll just see if we can get to the right approximation of how much we need. Cool. So we'll be back in a minute. All right, we've whittled it down to 144 liquid carbon, so one more iron ingot should be a sufficient amount here to do its thing. Nice. So now we have the proper amount of steel. So now we just have to wait for it to cook. But that should complete the crafting request, which should be good. And you guys are nice as emptied, so that can all go away. So that kind of fixes our problem. So what I could do, by the way, is put this in that mode. So it'll cook each piece of iron and carbon before it puts the next piece in. That might slow down the process a little bit. But honestly, the process is slowed down mostly by this thing, right? Like this is the slowest part of this process anyway. So that should be okay. So we'll just see how that works out for us. Cool. So we'll be back in a moment. And here comes that flawless glass that we needed so that we could make the... We said we needed 9 of these. Nice. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, all that stuff's been running. How has this thing done? You done all right with... Yeah, you did some pretty good iridium production. That thing is pretty quick now with so much power getting pumped into it. So with that said, we should be able to get the 3 more of these we need. Missing 7 iridium ore, so we're almost there. We need 7 more iridium. Cool. And you are just waiting on steel. So we'll be back in a few minutes here once that's done. All right, so 1 photovoltaic cell 4 markdown. Nice. Still cooking up a few more of those guys. And cooking up the Cenarium as well. All right, so let's see. I should be able to get 2 more of these now. And then I should be able to use this. Nice. Okay, cool. So this needs one of these. Miniature sun. Cool. Tier 6 solar. Beautiful. Now, the other thing we were looking for... we're going to need 4 more Cenarium alloy. I did not correctly account for the amount of Cenarium we need. We need 2 sets of 4 Cenarium alloy because... reasons. But let's real quick just recap. We've got everything except that bottom right item. And the bottom right item is the quantum solar panel, of which we have everything except that center bit. The 4 of them are over here. So we need basically 2 stacks of iron to run through this thing. So I will be back in probably half an hour.
I think we should group up.
Alright guys, so cooking up the last bit of Cenarium parts that we need to make the last 2 Cenarium that we need. These guys are cruising right along. So this should get us a creative energy cell. So there's one thing that you don't want to do when you make your creative energy cell, and that is have anything in your inventory like this thing, or the battery, or anything like that. Because if whatever mechanism the battery or the awakened guy uses to charge stuff in your inventory, if it tries to charge the energy cell, you're gonna have a bad time. Because the energy cell is infinite and it can't be charged, but it's trying to charge it. And apparently that crashes the game. So that is the thing that I've heard not to do. So it looks like we've got about a minute left before this is done, and then we will be ready to make our awesome creative energy cell. So back in a minute when this is done. Guys, the hype is so real. Can you tell I'm a little excited about this point? So, what I could probably do... Didn't you, know how to make these things? Didn't I teach you this? I should have taught you this. One of those. And 4 of those, right? Oh, it needs to be a draconic in the center. That's okay. One of these. So yeah, Cenarium now. So we are good to go. So don't need these out here anymore. This was just a temporary to get, 4,000 more EU per tick going, which is a pretty good amount, to be honest. So you need one of these. Check. Check. You ready? Check. Direwolf 20 just earned the achievement, all the energy. Dude, I didn't know we got a new trophy for this. Oh, look at that. New trophy. Sweet! I was unaware that there was a trophy for this little gadget, but look what we just made, a creative capacitor bank. First things first. Can I dupe this thing? That's the first place I go with this. The answer is no. That's a shame. But I guess it could be argued that... yeah, that's a shame. I really wanted to be able to dupe that. I guess that's reasonable. If I made, however, the creative vending upgrade from storage drawers, this guy, I'd be able to dupe it with that, and that doesn't even cost energy. Once we get this gadget, it is literally just you can have all the items in the world. It is dupe all the things for free whenever you want, however you want, which is shenanigans. But yeah, that'll be the thing that we're going to work towards probably next. We need creative fluid tanks, though. We need 2 creative fluid tanks. We need an octuple compressed cobblestone, which we will probably want to start working towards immediately-ish. Basics, cool, creative gas. Yeah, creative. So 2 creative gas tanks. And 2, yeah, so the creative vending upgrade is going to be the end tier that we're working towards at the end of the day. Looks like we need, wow, 4. Because quantum generators come from creative capacitor banks. So if I want a creative fluid tank, we're going to need 4 creative capacitor banks. And biodiesel, vapor of levity, empowered oil, icy too hot coolant, and short meat. Shenanigans is the ultimate answer to what I'm saying. That is a lot of things. I haven't looked at that yet, and that is making my heart cry. So auto-crafting just one of these is not going to be super easy. Quantum solar panels, by the way, are totally blacklisted as well, because I looked at the config option. It is all the solar panels from IC2 Advanced Solars. So quantum solar is blacklisted in the same way ultimate solar is blacklisted. Before anybody puts in the comments, hey, Dire, you should have put that quantum solar in the duplicator to see if you could dupe it. Some of the other ones might be dupable. This one wasn't because we tested it. This might have been. I don't know. We'll have to see. But wow, that's a thing. That's a thing now. So this thing can totally be used to make quantum generators, which is basically unlimited IC2 power. And quantum generators can make unlimited mechanism power, and then that can cycle back. So basically it just cycles right through. Like creative capacitor becomes quantum generator, and quantum generator is cool. You basically say what you want the output to be and the tier, and you're like good to go, right? So like there, we're now producing 2012 EU per tick, and like that's just it, which is kind of neat. So that's the way that works. And then creative energy cube, and that's supposed to cycle back to the creative capacitor. Psst, supposed to cycle back to the creative capacitor. Let's try it with a vanilla crafting table. It's supposed to cycle back to the creative capacitor. Huh, interesting. So that's totally a bug then. And I am not... Wow, I need 4 of them for a creative gas tank. So we're going to need a lot of these creative capacitor banks. We're going to need to look into making that a little bit easier to go. So yeah, that should cycle back, and it's not. So what I'm going to do is do that and that. Cool. Because that is totally just a bug. Interesting that that would not... not cycle back. Interesting. Wonder if there's a way to clear stored info. Weird. But basically, you are lots of power. So max output is 500,000 RF per side. And you might have noticed that I was making something. These guys? Yeah. Let's teach you how to make this. So basically, I want one of these. Basically, I want 2 of these. What are you short on? Draconium dust, huh? Cool. Mechanism room. That'll do. So, did you finish the crafting? You probably did. Cool. So there's 4 of those. I'm going to want another... Well, that actually might be enough. So let's do 4, 5. Yeah, that should be enough for now. Let's put on our spacesuit, just so you guys don't have to endure the torture of space sounds. I've really been trying. Lots of people have commented on, like, you can put diamonds on your draconic gear in a chemical reactor. I don't know which version of advanced rocketry that was, but I have not... I've tried many different things. I have not been able to get the draconic armor suit to be space-proof. So that's a thing. Okay. So that is output power, right? This is input power. I don't know how much power this thing can hold. This thing holds 16 million RF. So that shouldn't be too bad. So basically what I would say... Let's put our creative capacitor bank here. We will set you to input mode. You to input mode. You to input mode. You to input mode. You seeing a pattern? To input mode. And you to input mode. And then what I'm going to have, your output mode, right? So you, and you. Cool, and that should be filling up. And then you bind to that, and we should have a large amount of power gen going on. Why does it feel like it's not as high as it could be? Isn't it 500,000 RF per tick per side? We're only getting 500,000 RF per tick, though. Why would that be? I thought it was 500,000 RF per side. So this should actually, like, be working, right? Yeah, look, none of the other ones are getting as much power as, like, the one is. So if I, like, disconnected you all for a sec, would that not make a difference? So now you have 2 links. Well, that's interesting. Well, yeah, no, that's going at close to 500,000 RF a tick. So it's sitting right there at pretty much the same amount. Interesting. So then you link up, and what do we have happening now? Pretty much 500 and 0. Huh. I thought it was like per side. Interesting. Output, 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 output. Nope, still only doing 500,000 RF. Interesting. Input and input. Yeah, you should have more than enough capacity to transfer that. So it's not the draconic stuff that's being the problem. It's the capacitor. It only does... Okay, that's cool. I always thought it was per side, but I guess not. Either way, though, 500,000 RF per tick is nothing to sneeze at, right? Because 500,000 RF per tick equates to times 20, which is basically 10 million RF a second. For 1.5 billion RF, that is 100 seconds. So basically, you know, we're talking not a lot of time, right? Less than 2 minutes. So every 2 minutes, I can quadruple an item. That's pretty cool. So I guess I don't need all these, frankly. Which is kind of a bummer. I was hoping to get, you know, 3 million RF per tick. But I guess 500,000 will do. So pretty much the same amount going on here. It's weird. I really would have expected that to be first side, but oh well. So let's come back in a minute once I decide what's next. Hey, so QVist recommended I relog out of my instance and log back in for whatever reason, and that seems to have fixed my cycling ability. So there you go. So if you run into that bug where you can't convert from Mechanism back to Ender.io, just you don't have to close Minecraft. If you're playing single player, you can just log out and log back in of your world. Or if you're on a multiplayer server, log out and log back into the server, and that might fix it too. So that's cool. I think next I'd like to play with this quantum generator a little bit and see what kind of shenanigans I can run up with this thing. So cables, fiber cables, can only transfer 8,192 EU per tick. But I'm pretty sure this thing can accept pretty much anything. And we're going to test that right now. So with the quantum generator hooked up, you're receiving what? You're saying 512, but I'm going to tier you up to 5. Max tier? Can I boost this to like 10,112? I don't know. Ha 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 ha. What's the EU reader saying about that? Wow, 27,500. So it says it's getting 27,000 EU per tick. This is doing 10,000 EU per tick. Cool. Just out of curiosity, without this thing placed, you're getting what? 17? Okay. So with this thing placed, with a max tier, I wonder if there's a limit. Can I type in this field? I cannot. So like, you're telling me if I set this to 25,000, like that, you're getting 25,000 EU per tick. Wow, that's shenanigans. So that's really fast. Wow, okay, cool. So that thing really does cruise. His progress is moving really quickly. That'll definitely help with my iridium production problems. So a lot of the slowdown with all this was waiting for things like iridium and steel. We sped that up. So by doing this, right, I wonder how high it goes. Like, is there a limit? I don't know. Let's do 50,000. Like, it's cruising. It says it's getting, 42,000. Cool. So what's your out mode? 25,000. So 25 does seem to be the limit-ish. So even though I said 50,000, I guess the max tier of power that you're allowed to output. I wonder if I put a machine next to it, though. Just for giggles. I wonder if that's 25,000 per side. How hard was the molecular transformer to make? Do you know how to make advanced circuits? How about EV transformers? MT core. I'm gonna make another one of these and we will be right back. Alright guys, so I got my molecular transformer here, and long story short, no such luck. When I tested it, if I throw some iron in there, for example, which we use some of, it flickers. And when we look at the energy output, it's still, energy in is like right around 15-ish thousand, and this guy's still only outputting 25. So that is a no-go. So we're just going to have to stick with the one for now, which is not the end of the world. So I think it's wrapping up point. What we'll do is come back next episode, and I'm going to work on getting more of these creative capacitors so that I can do some of the next tier stuff. So the next tier of creative things that we want to work towards are, ultimately, I would like to get, if I can, the creative vending upgrade. In order to do that, we're going to need some creative gas tanks and some creative fluid tanks, all of which require quite a few things, so specific types of gases. These aren't empty. They need to be full of a certain type of gas. But we need, obviously, lots of things to get to that point. So for now, Darryl20 signing off. We need lots of creative energy cubes in order to progress. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a good way to make that happen. For now, you know what I didn't test? Hold on. Hold on a minute. Nobody panic. Can I do this? No. How about this? Oh, it was worth a shot. It really was. It was worth a shot. All right, guys, take it easy.